And I think that pressure, Joe Biden, as much as, I'm sure he has a high self-opinion, clearly, when he is confronted by the reality that half the country hates him and thinks he's doing a terrible job, and then he has to talk publicly live, then I think those cognitive problems elevated. I think that's the same with her. So I think that's the same with her when she's on Fox with Brett Breyer. I think it's hostile environments. I think it's large crowds. I think it's a lot of things where you don't get to see the real person. So that was my goal. My goal was to try to meet the real person. Just like I did with Trump, just try to meet and talk with the real person. And my goal was of doing it on the same day. And my manager, she agreed. She's like, this would be the perfect way to set it up. Like, we both agreed, put them both out at the same time. That would be the ultimate way to do it, but they never agreed to do it. So all this shit that's in that book that they never talked to us, just not true. Maybe it's someone's trying to preserve their job. Maybe someone's trying to say, hey, it wasn't my fault. They became difficult. No, we didn't become difficult. The other thing was, like, they wanted to do it that Saturday, the day after Trump. And I said, I'll do it, but it has to be at 8:30 a.m. The reason why was I had a podcast already scheduled that was a live UFC podcast. So we do this thing called Fight Companion. So there was this title fight that was happening. It was somewhere in the Middle East, I believe. I flew in 3 of my buddies from California, and we were all going to do this podcast together. Like, we had committed to doing this. Like, they were already in town. Like, I can't just say, no, guys, I can't do this awesome thing because I have to interview Kamala Harris. Seems like I should to some people, but that's because you're in the politics business. I'm an MMA commentator. This is part of my job. And I said I would do it. I said, I'll do it, but it has to be like 8:30 in the morning because I have to be done by the time the fight starts. That's reasonable. They didn't do that either. This idea that I sabotaged her, there's a bunch of people that say I fucked her over or whatever. That's not true. You can think whatever you want.